Hey guys, Iain here with the Old School Labs, and let's begin this video with something light. To start with, just an update of Iain Valliere, and this guy looks huge at this point in his prep, and just like the last time when he won that New York Pro, I'm sure he's gonna play the fullness game again, which in my opinion is a good play for him because very easily he can get flat, and he knows that, and that's why he needs to keep the carbs and the water high so he doesn't get too flat. And when he's full, it doesn't mean that he's not shredded. When he's lean, he's lean. But maybe it's not going to be that sharp, crispy look. Although I think it's best for him to keep the fullness game, and I'm sure he's going to do that. He talked about it in a podcast with Fouad Abiad and so on. So yeah, you can expect him to be absolutely enormous. And this guy is young, actually, in bodybuilding years. He's 30. He's turning 30, actually. He's 29, I think. So he's a youngster, really. You guys know that golden age for bodybuilders, not classic guys, but for bodybuilders, because it's like 34, something like that, because it takes some time, for them to grow that kind of muscle and for that muscle to mature enough. And so Iain has like 4 or 5 years, 3 to 4 or 5 years before he reaches his peak. So you guys know that this guy is the future of bodybuilding, and when he's 34, it doesn't mean he should end the career right there. But of course, he can compete much longer than that. So I think that's gonna be his peak. So let's wait and see that. As for now, he's a size freak. All right, next let's talk about Chris Bumstead, but let's not talk too much because I made a special video for him and Breon. I'm gonna just mention this for you guys because it's a physique update, but it's not really special. You cannot really see a lot. I mean, it's under heavy shadow, so you cannot really see much of his physique, but you can see that his diet is coming through. He's not having any water retention issues. He's getting lean, and his waist got small. That's the thing with him. In the off season, he looks a little bit thick-waisted, but when he gets shredded, he has super tiny waist, and everything else, he just looks fresh, and he looks big and full. So I'm sure he's going to be the best version of Chris Bumstead so far, unless something with that disease, kidney disease happens, immune system disease, whatever. If it flares up and he gets like super crazy water retention one day out. I mean, if that happens, then he's doomed, of course. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Let's hope that him and his coach Iain and his actually brother-in-law figured out how not to make the disease flare up. So if everything goes well, he's gonna win the title again. It's gonna be a battle though. I just picked Chris for my favorite because I like his classic lines, but it doesn't mean that Breon is not gonna beat him. I mean, maybe he's gonna actually look much better as a bodybuilder. Maybe that's gonna be enough to prevail, because take a look at his arms. Insane. Crazy peaks. And the back is good. So he's gonna beat him in those two body parts. Is it gonna be enough? Let's see. If we are talking classic, we must mention Calum Moger, because this guy looks insane at this point. Take a look at this photo. He looks so granity. He looks so crispy. He's 4 days out in this photo, and he says he's flat and crispy. So hopefully he will not overcarb. Hopefully he will know how to maintain this kind of dryness and crispiness, and he can actually dehydrate and look even more crispy, but fuller and bigger. Because that's gonna be crazy, and you guys know that Jay Cutler is a big fan of Calum, if you can call it a fan. He thinks that he has the potential, to be a great classic physique competitor because he has the lines, the completeness of the physique. He can gain muscle pretty rapidly. I mean, he already gained enough muscle. He just needs to shape it up, kind of, if you know what I mean. Yeah, his legs, I don't know if they're gonna look asymmetrical because he has a horrible knee injury, and I think he tore his quad. I'm not sure, but yeah, he had a bad injury on his left leg, and I think that's gonna affect him for sure. He's gonna be too big of a weakness to actually hurt him in terms of placings. I don't know. He looks really impressive here. I'm really excited to see him on stage. I'm sure this guy's gonna win that pro card. How well will he place later on? I don't know, but he's gonna win the pro card. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, now let's get back to the big guys, the open bodybuilders. And we have an update of Brandon Curry, and take a look at this. Take a look at this, guys. I mean, let's just take a look at this and admire it for a second. Let's not be too analytical. Let's not think about his legs. Let's just take a look at this and tell me, who does it remind you of? Me personally, when I saw this, I immediately thought of Ronnie Coleman. Take a look at that chest, shoulder tie-in. The thinness of the skin and the hardness, the fullness, the veins and the mass, everything. Brandon is huge, guys. He's freaking enormous right now. So, I mean, there is a lot of bodybuilders, a lot of people who think that other bodybuilders, like from the 90s and so on, are better Mr. Olympias than Brandon. Like, I mean, for their era, of course, but if you compared most of the, not Mr. Olympia winners, but like top guys from the 90s, like Kevin Levrone, Flex Wheeler, and so on, what do you think? Would they beat Brandon Curry? I mean, yeah, in some years they were more conditioned, but they were not this massive. They are not this full. Take a look at this. I mean, I know I shouldn't be comparing eras, but I'm just really impressed. His upper body looks really good. Possibly, probably better than what Phil Heath's upper body is going to look. But then, of course, there is a talk about that lower body. But let's not even talk about that. As I said before, let's not even mention it. You guys know what's my stand on it. And if you don't know, let me just say it. My stand is that his legs are going to be improved, but not improved enough to beat Phil Heath. But upper body, I'm super impressed by this crazy size, crazy fullness. The roundness of the chest, of the shoulders, of the arms. Just wow. Just freaky, impressive, insane. And now let's get to some not so happy topics. So first we have Hadi Choopan, who doesn't have visa. Still, I thought he got it, but he says, update regarding my visa status. I have no visa till now. I have to do interview with US embassy officers, and all the embassies and consulates are closed except in United Arab Emirates. But again, I have to get UAE visa, which seems to be very difficult nowadays. I'm not sure whether I can get in the right time. Just pray for me. So at this point, we're not sure if Hadi is gonna even be at the Mr. Olympia, guys. Which really sucks, because he looks insane at this point. Take a look at this. He's a freak. He's one of the freakiest bodybuilders right now. He could be the freakiest one. I mean, if you consider the size that he has and the conditioning that he brings. Because he brings some serious level of conditioning. And he's big, like all the way. His legs are insanely big. And he's not really lacking in the upper body. I mean, yeah, his legs are bigger, but his upper body is freaky as well. So it would be a really big shame if he doesn't actually get to the USA and if he doesn't compete at Mr. Olympia. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below. And another pretty sad news for Mr. Olympia. Cedric McMillan is not going to be able to compete at Mr. Olympia because he had a serious injury. I mean, I don't know what exactly happened. Soon there will be an interview at Fouad Abiad's YouTube channel. Take a look at it, guys, and you will find out what exactly happened. But Cedric ended up with a fracture in his wrist, I think, and also his collarbone. So we'll learn more detail when that podcast happens, but he got pretty injured. So let's wait and see what happens. I mean, maybe he's going to recover and maybe he's going to be able to compete. No, that's not going to happen. He's not going to be able to train for who knows how long, and Mr. Olympia is approaching. It's like 7 weeks until Mr. Olympia, 7.5 maybe. So, yeah, pretty bad news for bodybuilding world. First it was Flex, now it could be Hadi, and it's Cedric as well. So the lineup is kind of getting more and more depleted. It's not going to be as big of a Mr. Olympia as we expected, but still it's going to be amazing. It's going to be insane. And as far as Cedric, I think his heydays are past. I don't think he has the fire inside of him anymore. I mean, sure, he is able to maintain what he has and come in decent conditioning to compete and plays pretty well because of his genetics mainly. But does he have the fire to push the envelope, to get even better at this age? I don't think he has it anymore. So, yeah, it's not that big of a shame. It's much bigger shame if you ask me for Hadi. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Tell me what you think about this whole thing in the comment section down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe for more videos like this. All the best, guys, and keep it old school.